Hello students, today we are going to start the second part of the chapter of motion in a plane. We have already completed vectors and today we are going to see what is projectile motion. Now, previously from class 9 we have been studying motion in under gravity. That is a straight line motion. Suppose you throw a ball upward or drop a stone from a height that falls straight freely under gravity. There the displacement and acceleration are parallel to each other. But that is called straight line motion. But if it so happens that displacement and acceleration are not parallel to each other, they are not in the same direction, then in that case we call it projectile motion. So projectile motion means when a body moves under an acceleration whose direction is different from the direction of initial velocity, both the body and magnitude, means the direction in which the body was thrown, the body is not moving in the same direction. So that we call it projectile motion. For example, let us see the graph. This picture shows us the path of a projectile. So initially the particle was projected in this direction, but it is moving again and again and coming back in this direction. So initially what was the direction is not the entire, in the entire journey that the direction is not the same. So that is called projectile motion. Now to see the velocity, the initial velocity is resolved into two components. This u, let me tell you one thing. This is actually the initial velocity, the u. This is resolved into two components, one along the x-axis, that is called u cos theta, and one along the y-axis, that is called the u sin theta. And theta is the angle of projection, means the angle between the initial direction and the x-axis. The angle between the initial direction and the x-axis is called the angle of projection, theta naught. Here they have written theta 0 or theta, whatever you can so call it. So ux, that is u cos theta, that is component of u, that is the initial velocity along the x-axis. And uy is equal to u sin theta, that is component of u under the y-axis. So we have these two components, u cos theta and u sin theta. Now, so this here one thing you have to observe, that whatever acceleration the particle is having is along the y-axis. There is no acceleration in the particle along the z-axis. So this we have to understand. Now the horizontal x, so this x, that is the horizontal displacement of the particle, is given by the formula u cos theta into t. From here we are getting that t is equal to x by u cos theta. So t is equal to x by u cos theta. Now along the y-axis this motion is not uniform, so we cannot apply the formula velocity into time. Why? So here we have to apply the formula s equal to ut plus half at square. U means initial velocity. So along the y-axis the initial velocity is u sin theta into t into half dt square. Now in place of t we will put x by u cos theta. So this formula will become what? T equal to x by u cos theta. And from here, doing the substitution, we will get this formula for the y. This is the formula for y, means the displacement of the particle in the y-axis. This formula, this relation between y and x, that is in the form of y equal to ax plus bx square, tells us that the path of the projectile is a parabola, because this is the formula y equal to ax minus bx square is actually the path of the parabola. Now some terms relating to the time of flight. One thing let us understand before going further, that when the body is moving upward, due to the acceleration, the speed of the body will decrease. The component of speed, that is u sine theta, the vertical component of velocity, will decrease. And this P point is called the highest point. And here, up to here, uy will become 0. Okay, uy will become 0. Okay, so here uy will become 0. So we will apply this concept in this derivations. So see what we are doing. Y equal to V equal to u plus at. This is the formula we know. V is what? Final velocity. At the highest point, final velocity is 0. So we have taken it 0. And initial component of y is u sine theta minus gt. From here we are getting t. So this is t is the time taken by the particle to reach the highest point. But we are interested in calculating the total time, means the time in which the particle will go from here to here and again come back here. So time taken by the particle to go from here to here, this is t, okay, and this is also t. From time taken to go from here to here. So total time of flight is given by 2t. Total time of flight is given by 2t, that is 2u sine theta by j. Now, height. Now we apply the formula v square equal to u square plus 2gh. Again the same thing. At highest point v equal to 0. And if you put u as the vertical component of velocity, that is u sine theta, you will get this value of h. Now, lastly, we are reached at that is called the range. This is called the range. Means where the particle was projected and where the particle landed. Particle was projected here, it landed here. So this is called the range. Now, so to find the range, that is you can see that range is actually a displacement in the x-axis. And we know that in the x-axis there is no acceleration. So we can simply apply the formula of range, that is displacement in x-axis is equal to velocity into time. What is the velocity? U cos theta into t, and we get this formula for the range. Okay. Now, range is maximum if theta is 45 degree, because we know sine to theta has maximum value 1 when theta is 45 degree. Okay, students, that is here up to here in this chapter part. Read the book and see the video properly.